Welcome to the Vana video newsletter. This month, an action-packed episode. We've got Antony Moore coming in, General Manager, Lotteries Retail. We have McDonald, Vice Chair at Vana, coming in talking about all things distribution. First cab off the rank, Antony Moore. We're going to be talking about online retail. We're going to be talking about site servos, most of all, remuneration, store locations, and a whole lot more with Antony. We're here with Antony Moore. Antony, you've appointed a new State Manager, Victoria. Who's that person?
Tina Diattore. So Tina's going to be a great addition to the team. She's got a background with Woolworths supermarkets. Tina will start with us on the 5th of February.
Fantastic. Looking forward to Tina meeting our members.
Absolutely.
A lot of apprehension, fear, anxiety from our members in regard to online. You can't blame them in one way in terms of, requests for downloading the app and things like this. What is the actual strategy at the moment in terms of online at Tatts and the retail future?
In this day and age, customers want to engage with the Tatts brand in the way they want to engage. So the physical and digital channels are both really important. So over the last 5 or 6 years, retailer commissions have grown around 5%. Over 80% of the traffic to the website is actually to check results and seek information. So that just shows us that it's really important that that those channels are available for our customers. The more we know about a customer, the more we can talk to them and tell them about promotions and get them in purchasing.
Antony, I've been working with you for the last 4 months on a new remuneration model. I believe we've been making some really steady progress. I'd like to know sort of how that's tracking.
So first of all, thanks to you and Chris for the effort. I think you're right. We've had some great conversations and it's been productive, and I think where we've landed is going to be fantastic, and the support of Vana is critical to that. And I think we'll be in a position early next year we'll be able to share with retailers where we're at. But as you say, I'm reasonably sure that everyone's going to be excited about it.
Store locations, Antony. What's the logic and I guess the sense and sensibility around your choices of store locations?
Basically what will happen is we'll get an application, will come through, and we've got a very sophisticated modelling program in place. And if the modelling and the selection criteria demonstrate there'll be a level of incremental sales to the network, then we'll look to proceed with that. So this model was put in as a result of the ACCC stepping in the Queensland jurisdiction some 10 years ago. And what happened is a retailer applied. We declined it based on the fact there was another retailer in reasonable close proximity, and the ACCC found that was anti-competitive because we're excluding someone from becoming part of the network. We've got a very rigorous process with a number of people involved, so we make sure it is very robust and fair and equitable. And if it does model up, we'll proceed, and if it doesn't, we won't. Site
surveys in regard to there's been quite a bit of noise from our members in terms of what's fair, what's reasonable, what's achievable. Like to know your thoughts on that.
Being customer-led, it's really important. For example, if you've got an outlet and you're operating it extremely well, and I've got one and I'm not, the customer goes in and visits you and has a great experience, comes in and sees me and has a poor experience, well, that actually reflects on all of our businesses, and in the customer's mind, it's a Tatts outlet. So it's really important to us that we can get a really consistent experience for our customers right across the market. So site surveys are one part of that, and what we're seeing is that retailers that have had 3 consecutive 100% surveys are getting 4% better sales growth than those that aren't. So there is a tangible outcome as well.
What does good look like for our members out there?
We need to make sure that whatever the offer is in market, we've got that displayed. So whether it's today's Oz Lotto jackpot poster, making sure that we're in stock of the instance tickets, particularly the ones that we're being marketed in the field, making sure that people have done the training in terms of responsible play, those messages are up. That's really important in terms of our licence. So it's really just the basics, making sure that when customers come in, they get a really consistent, clean experience, and that is demonstrating great sales results.
You've been pleased with the growth in retail at Tatts?
Absolutely, Brendan. The Powerball changes have been fantastic and they're exceeding the model. Retail's sitting well and truly at double-digit growth for the first 5 months. So, look, it's a fantastic result, and I'd like to take the opportunity just to thank our retailers for their hard work and effort, particularly in embracing the changes in Powerball. They're reaping the rewards, which is fantastic to see, and thanks to all, and Merry Christmas and good trading through to the Mega Draw.
Thank you, Antony, for your time. We've covered various topics today. I hope you found it informative. Thank you. Thanks, Antony. I'll continue to work really closely with Tatts in regard to the release of this new remuneration model coming out in the new year. Now, let's talk all things distribution with the Vice Chairman at Vana, McDonald. A big welcome to Kate McDonald, Vice Chairman at Vana. Welcome, Kate.
Thanks, Brendan.
Today we're talking about all things distribution, sharing your great knowledge of 22 years in the industry in regard to distribution. What really works for you in terms of your structure and how you've done it there at Ballarat?
Well, I had 7 years in retail first and then 15 years in distribution. Distribution in those 15 years has changed significantly. We're now working on contractors, but I guess the biggest thing that actually has worked for us in our distribution is splitting or separating our distribution out of our retail business. We did that by actually, in conjunction with 3 other business territories. So 4 people within Ballarat merged their territories and went out on our own. We then have the economies of scale. We then share our equipment, we share our costs, so it means that we can actually work on the business as opposed to working in the business.
Sure, way more efficient, a lot more cost effective. Talk to me about run density.
Run density, you've got to work on your runs constantly. We're not delivering the number of newspapers that we once were, so you need to cut and paste your runs. Once upon a time I would have said every 6 months, it's now every 3.
If you could leave one message to our Vana members in terms of distribution, what would that be?
One size doesn't fit all, but look for some way that you can actually achieve the efficiencies. So whether that be outsourcing the wrapping and rolling, because realistically your machinery is very expensive and you can get someone else to roll your papers because we can run them through. Get someone to do that.
That's really good insight, Kate. Thank you so much for your time today and have a great Christmas.
Thanks, Brendan.
Thanks, Kate. Let's have a think about partnerships in distribution. It may well be a way to go. Moving on to end stock. Some wonderful start there from Trio Rouge and the chocolate box, a great response. Some members ordering now for the 2nd and 3rd times. So get on to Enstock and book now. Next edition of the Vana video newsletter will be in February 2019 for episode 4. Most of all, on behalf of Chris Bacora, our chairman, the board and our staff at Vana, we wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Have lots of fun and festivities with your family in the festive season. Merry Christmas.